Hello and welcome to the Top Corner European Roundup Show for the 23rd of December 2019. We're getting incredibly close to Christmas now, but of course, there's been a lot of football today and there is a lot of news to go through. So, without further ado, let's go straight into the first piece of news today. It's not the best piece of news to talk about, but there was a major incident in the Premier League today which occurred, which Chelsea defender Antonio Rudiger was yesterday subjected to racist chanting in the match between Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur. Three separate announcements were made over the tannoy system, but the game was not suspended. One of the reasons to why the German defender came to abuse. Son was given a red card after a incident that occurred with Rudiger, who was involved in the incident, and racist chanting did happen quite late on into the game. After the game, Rudiger did come out onto his Twitter and he put up a post saying hashtag no to racism and hashtag please get some basic education to those that did, of course, contribute to the racism throughout the match. It is usually expected for the game to be suspended after three announcements of racism, but nothing happened at the end of the day, and the game played to eventually finish Chelsea 2-0 as they played away at Tottenham. Anti-discrimination charity Kick It Out did praise referee Anthony Taylor for the handling of the situation and have offered support to Rudiger in the meantime. It's not the best piece of news. There was a lot of talk about it, a lot of debate. Gary Neville, of course, talked about it on Sky Sports Super Sunday, which that in itself has caused a lot of debate and talk with how Sky Sports dealt with the incident. But it's hopefully racism is never good in football, and it's a real shame that there's been a massive amount of racism that's been reported in recent months and recent weeks. But it's good to see that finally people are coming to light about incidents of racism rather than holding it and not reporting it. On to the next piece of news, though, which might be good for Bayern Munich fans, is that Bayern Munich yesterday announced that their interim manager Hansi Flick will stay on as permanent manager of the club until the end of the season. Since his appointment at the club, the side have won 8 of their 10 matches, as well as qualifying for the Champions League round of 16 with a 100% record. Flick did take temporary charge in November after Niko Kovac's sacking. They were linked to the likes of Allegri and Arsene Wenger, but they have decided to stay on with the interim manager until the end of the season after some impressive displays in recent weeks. Of course, took over Niko Kovac back in November, and he's done a pretty stellar job at the club ever since. So great news there for Bayern Munich fans who will hopefully be looking forward to an interesting rest of the season as the Bundesliga gets incredibly tight, it must be said indeed. But there was another club today that certainly was celebrating after an incredible victory in the Supercoppa Italia final, where Lazio beat Juventus 3-1. The game was, of course, played in Saudi Arabia, which it's been played over there for the last couple of years, I think. Luis Alberto was the first player to open the scoring early on before Dybala equalised just before half time. However, the captain of Lazio, the Bosnian midfielder slash defender Senjad Lulic, put Lazio back into the lead in the 73rd minute before Cataldi, the Italian midfielder, scored an unstoppable free kick in the 94th minute to seal the victory for Lazio. Juventus did go down to 10 men after Bentancur, the Uruguay midfielder, was sent off late into the match. It's a massive victory for Lazio and will certainly boost the morale of the club. They've been incredible this season, it has to be said. They, of course, were knocked out in the Europa League quite early on into the competition in the group stages, but they're third in Serie A, and now with a Coppa Italia win under their belt, things are looking very bright for Simone Inzaghi's side as the season goes on. But there's a lot of talk about Italian sides today, and one of the major talking points in Italy was a game of football that happened in the morning, yesterday morning, It was Atalanta versus AC Milan, and it was a shocking result if you're an AC Milan fan, as AC Milan suffered their heaviest defeat for more than 21 years after a humiliating 5-0 defeat to Atalanta. Alejandro Gomez did open the scoring with a stunning opener, as well as Pasalic, Ilicic, and Muriel, who all added to the score throughout the game. It's one of the worst games of football AC Milan have had in their recent memory, and of course, things aren't going well for the side as they continue to struggle in Serie A. As of current, they're 11th in Serie A with a goal difference of -8, which, to put into perspective, is pretty shambolic, to be honest. Considering the side are 11th in the league, there's a couple of sides below them that have actually got better goal differences, and it's pretty worrying for the club. They're in a very, very poor state right now, and things just look to be getting worse. The manager Stefano Pioli came out after the match and was quoted saying, "This cannot be the real Milan. We approached the match in the wrong way, and you just can't afford to do that against this team." So, worrying times for AC Milan. They've had a piece of news that came out today as well. PSG are interested in signing the Brazilian attacking midfielder Lucas Paqueta. Leonardo, who was the sporting director at AC Milan, who works for PSG now, has got interest into bringing the Brazilian playmaker to the French side. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But worrying times ahead for AC Milan, and things certainly don't look to be getting any better for the club. And the final piece of news, once again, it comes from Italy. It's been a very heavy Serie A/Italian football day. But this is a piece of transfer news that came out early into the morning. Juventus striker Mario Mandzukic was spotted in Qatar undergoing a medical to sign for Qatari side Al Dahail. Sky Sport Italia claimed that Juventus will pick up €5 million from the deal, with the Croatian pocketing €7.5 million per season for 18 months. The striker will join up with former Juventus defender Mehdi Benatia, who joined the club quite recently. I think it was last January as well. So quite a heavy day of Italian football news, but it's very unfortunate with the news of Chelsea, and it was a massive loss for Juventus today, of course. 3-1 they lost, and there's Sorry Out was actually something that was trending on Twitter not too long after the game had finished. But that is your roundup for the European Football Show today. If you are new to the channel, of course, you can follow the links that are available on the screen to you now. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it is at @_top corner. You can keep up to date with all of the latest news on Twitter. If you also want to keep up on Facebook, simply search the top corner. It'll be one of the first pages that is available to you on the Facebook search. And if you even want to follow us for the latest news on Instagram, it's the_top corner blog. So keep your eyes out on those social media pages if you haven't already. And of course, as I said in the last video, the schedule every day, the European Roundup Show is available for you at 9 a.m. UK time. You can watch it as a premiere on YouTube, and then it goes live as a video straight afterwards. We have our Top Corner podcast, which is available from the 8th of January once again, 1:15 while 3:15. That's live on YouTube, and same as the European Roundup Show, it's available as a video straight afterwards. You don't want to miss out on that. That's basically covers European football. It's well worth a watch, whether you're a Fenerbahce, Ajax, or Barcelona fan. Well worth it. And on the 31st of January, we'll have Transfer Deadline Day live. We'll give you more news as we get closer to the dates. So thank you very much for joining us on the Top Corner European Roundup Show. We'll be back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. UK time on the YouTube channel. But in the meantime, have yourself a very great day, and of course, a very Merry Christmas. See you later.